Hey everybody, Eric Anthony here with All Things MSP. Glad to have Amelia Paro here with me today from ID Agent. We actually tried to do this interview last year. Seems like a long time ago now. But unfortunately, the initial interview had something to do with an event that she was running, and I ended up not getting the video edited until the actual day of the event. And at that point, what was the point? But I did promise her that I would have her back because she has a great history and a great story to tell in terms of how she, came up in the channel and what ID Agent is doing today. So, Amelia, welcome to MSP Channel Interviews.
Awesome. Hi. Hello to your audience. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me back. Appreciate that. And I do appreciate the effort in trying to help me promote my last year's event, even though I know, look, it was a busy time. It was end of the year. It was Christmas time. So I'll give you a pass on that one. But no, it was a really good event. It was a virtual event. We just wanted to of course, kind of get one last hurrah in. I had the opportunity a couple months back to meet who we ended up having as our guest speaker on the virtual event. His name is David Randall, and he's a great, funny comedian slash motivational speaker. I got to meet him in person. The dude is amazing. He's very practical and down to earth. And you know how kind of like Seinfeld was really, he would take real world, and that was his stuff, right? Same thing with David. It's all, based on his family, his experiences, and his stories. Very motivating. And kind of one of the key things that I took away when I got to meet him the first time was the importance of storytelling. And I'll kind of circle back into that in just a little bit. But it was a great event. So if you out in the audience there, if you get a chance to hear or listen to David Randall, he's a TEDx speaker, and he also is the author of Freak Factor. Yes, Freak, Freak. Dude loves wearing pink, but that's all part of his thing. So if you get a chance to check him out, you definitely should. Great guy. So the event was wonderful. We got to give out a bunch of prizes, ended up having a lot of people show up. We'll probably do something again the end of this year. So if you missed it last year, stay tuned. There's always hope for this year.
Awesome.
Yeah. So me, who am I? I'm somebody who's had the privilege and opportunity to been in the tech industry for a lot longer than I generally like to admit, but quite a while. Crash of 2009. So back in those days, I was, I cut my teeth on technology doing full BANT criteria sales for SAP and Oracle and Microsoft Dynamics. So the big ERPs back when big ERPs were big. And that was the thing, right? We're talking
Yep.
9-month sales cycles, and you had to talk to 8 different, people to get buy-ins. It was boiler room style. So,
Yep.
but I liked it. I liked technology. I got the opportunity to help do event recruitment for and this is really going to date me, the Microsoft Vista Roadshow bus. Some of you will remember that, but it was the Microsoft Vista bus that they would send around. And that was when they were, I think it was the Microsoft gaming console was just coming out, right? And Surface was something that was very high tech, and they were just starting to develop that technology. So that was cool. Loved that. And that was where I sort of got my first taste for kind of the event scene, right? Then 2009 happened, and a lot of the customers that were, utilizing the company I worked for technology sales, they, those projects kind of went away, and I moved over to a market research team, and I was doing, I commission executive research reports for businesses that are looking to penetrate new markets and had a new technology they wanted to test the viability of. So I was heading up all of those projects, speaking with C-level at small businesses and asking them questions and interviewing them and talking to them. Well, what do you think about this? What are your challenges here? Right. So that was an interesting role. And again, it was all in technology. And then I had the opportunity, and this is where my life really pivoted, right? I had the opportunity, a longtime friend of mine decided to move from New York after Hurricane Sandy to come to Arizona. And he had his own IT consulting firm, right? So we started, I joined him. I was employee number 3. It was me, the CEO, and another tech guy, and we were working out of his home office when we started. And that is where the MSP that I came from started. So it was an amazing journey that I got to be a part of to help grow an MSP from a very small home business to a thriving, successful IT consulting firm. And, they're still going strong now, even though I left and joined the dark side, at ID Agent. But I mean, that's being a part of that journey. And look, it's, as you all know, it was not all sunshine and, unicorn farts and rainbows. It was blood, sweat, and tears. It was, 80-hour work weeks. But a lot of the lessons that I learned is what makes me so passionate about helping other MSPs succeed in my role now. And that's really, in a nutshell, that's really what I do. Is my entire reason for being in the channel right now is to help MSPs learn from my pain and my struggle and have the same success that we had. Because look, I'm not a tech person. I'm sales and marketing. I was, one of the main lessons that we learned at my MSP is that you can't have one person that does sales and marketing. That was me. We learned that the hard way, right? I was sales, I was marketing, I was office manager, I was den mother, I was HR, in that small, really scrappy, we're just trying to grow and throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks, because we have no idea and we don't have the patience and we don't have the benchmarks and the key metrics and any clue what we're doing with sales. So we're just whatever, we'll take it, we'll do it. Let's do it. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. But did we give it long enough? No, probably not. So we were all over the place. It was a hot mess, right? Until we started figuring things out. And that was a combination of going to channel events, right? So I attended, we were CompTIA members. We went to channel events. We went to ASCII events. We went to Robin events. We started networking and reaching out into the MSP community. And that's where I fell in love with the MSP community and the channel community. I've never, my entire, adult career life, I've worked around so many people that were just so passionate about what they did. Right. I mean, it really is, the channel is great, right? I'm definitely blessed to have had that journey, and been a part of it and had that experience. And, I work at ID Agent now. Yes, I joined the vendor side, but the reason that I did that is because I think it was like end of 2017, beginning of 2018, cybersecurity was like the thing, right? And it was the hot ticket item. It was, sensational and salacious, but I couldn't sell it. I could not sell it. Couldn't sell it. And I'm a salesperson, but I'm not technical. Yeah, but again, that's a whole other story. So we were at, I forget what channel event we were at, and we saw, me and my CEO, we saw ID Agent, and we saw him present. And I turned to my CEO and I said, that is it. That is that missing piece to selling cybersecurity, right? It is that wake up and pay attention, that emotional hook with that on the spot dark web scan. That's it. And really after that, and granted, it was right time, right? And also, right place, right time. And that ID agent, that tool, that dark web, scan really helped catapult some significant growth from 2000, the beginning of 2018 to, 2019 and beyond. So, when ID agent reached back out to me, and I was kind of at the time of my life when, the MSP was successful and thriving and growing, and we built that sales engine and that process, and we had marketing, continual marketing streams coming in. I was like, ready for something else. Because the MSP, it was self-sufficient, right? And I was feeling very like I'd grown the baby. I was ready to launch it, looking for the next adventure. And so when ID agent reached out to me about a potential, joining the team to help other MSPs be successful, I'm like, let's do it. Sign me up. So
Yeah.
The rest is history, as they say. I'm lots of great experiences since then being in the channel. So, I mean, I get to do what I love. So I can't believe I get paid
important.
for it. Yeah.
And as they say, on the dark side, we have cookies.
That's right. Yes. I think we're going to do that as our next, Logan for our shirts.
That's awesome. And it's, it's interesting because I've been on both sides, right? I started out as an MSP. I joined the vendor side of things in 2013. And it's very interesting because my story of getting started is very similar to yours, just from the owner side, right?
Yeah.
I was an owner. I had a person who was doing my sales and marketing, my bookkeeping, and I love the term den mother because that's pretty much what she was.
Yeah.
I mean, she was keeping the tech guys, all wrangled, including me, and then the other tech guy. So there's a lot of people also in All Things MSP inside of the Facebook group that are in a very similar stage. And, we know that a lot of MSPs don't spend enough time focusing on sales and marketing. So having been in that spot, not really looking for, should they do social media or should they do postcards but what are some of the things that they can do to maintain their focus on sales and marketing and make sure that they're actually following a path to A, make sure that they're getting new customers, but B, also getting rid of any marketing or sales processes that aren't working and they need to, readjust and kind of follow that agile process for.
Yeah, that was probably one of the hardest lessons that we had to learn repeatedly, School of Hard Knocks. And it boils down to when it comes to, especially marketing, because you need marketing to get to sales. It's not something that happens overnight, right? So the lesson that we had to learn, and whatever program, if and kind of a general statement, my CEO especially, right? You guys are tech guys. We love you for that. That is your shining gift. And most of you are not good at sales and marketing. That's okay, right? Find somebody who is, or find a program that can help you with that process, because it is a process, right? IT, you guys are process guys. Marketing is a process too. You just have to kind of do it. And it's going to be painful at first, but keep at it and don't get frustrated or give up, because it takes a little while, but it will start making a difference. And once that ball gets rolling, if you just keep putting something out there, right? So pick what you're going to do. If you're going to sit down and do a video once a week, take 20 minutes out of your week, put together a little video, whether it's based on week in breach. So at ID Agent, if you go to our blog, idagent.com, you can sign up for the RSS feeds. Every week you get an email that says this is the past breaches of the week, right? You don't have to be a partner. Take advantage of this. You'll get the email, and then you can pick out, it's breaches from all different company types, all different industries all around the world. So you can pick out a story or two, that relates to your customer base, do a video about it. So hi, I'm Amelia Paro, Cobargo Technology Partners. Just wanted to share with you a breach that happened this past week. It was for, Mama's Pizza Company, and it was a very small company, but that just goes to show you that anybody and everybody is a victim, whether you are an Uber driver or Target, right? And everybody in between. So it's important to have, be training your people, security awareness training, or have something in place to detect phishing emails, or, monitoring the dark web for credentials. These are important things that'll help prevent that. If you would like more information, we are here. Otherwise, that's just our tip of the week, right? Something like that, 20 minutes out of your time, put it out there. Or if you're not comfortable doing video, send out an email, and then also a social post, right? Once a week, just to keep putting it out there. And if you're consistent with it, it will start paying dividends. So pick something, do it, be consistent with it.
Yeah, and really consistency is the key for most of your marketing efforts. I remember, and this is going to date me a little bit, but when I first started in this industry, display ads in the newspaper were still a thing.
Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah.
It took 3 months of being in there every single week in the business section of the Orlando Sentinel, 3 months before I got my first phone call. Now, after that, it started to get better. My ads started to get better because I started refining them over time. And over time, it actually started generating a decent ROI. But if I had cut it off at 2 months or 3 months, I would have never known. Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes that means that you're putting an investment into it up front. And you just have to be prepared that some of those things take time. Now, I think video is probably one of the best things that you can do. If you're comfortable, and if you're not comfortable, just do it a couple times. You'll get more comfortable the more you do it. Again, consistency. But if you just ultimately will not do video, do a blog post and then link to it from social media. Send an email out to your clients and show, and put a link to the blog post in there. If you're not comfortable on camera, but you like to write, easy solution. And you can be just as consistent. You can post it in all the same places as you would post a video. And, it's really the consistency that's key.
Yeah.
So, Amelia, what is there something new going on at ID Agent that we should know about for 2022?
Yeah, well, so at ID Agent, but it also plays into kind of the bigger picture that's Kaseya is doing this year. So, ID Agent was acquired by Kaseya, feels like a million years ago, but it was early 2019. And Kaseya also acquired Graphis, which is another security product that's anti-phishing, and as well as Rocket Cyber, which is, managed SOC. But what we're doing now for this year, for 2022, is we are going to market, going to bring to the channel our message, our vision of IT Complete. So ID Agent, Graphis, Rocket Cyber, we are part of the IT Complete security suite. There's an administrative suite, which is, includes IT Glue, which is documentation, and BMS and VSA, which is, the ticketing and RMM. And then we've got a compliance suite, so different suites. But it's, our vision, our goal for this year is we want to provide MSPs with I mean, we've been talking about it for years, the single pane of glass, that one tool, right? And there's, there's a couple of vendors have been trying to do that. But our IT Complete, man, this thing is pretty slick, and the workflows and the way all of the tools under the Kaseya tool belt, the way they work together in that one screen, and it's not opening up a bunch of different windows. It actually pulls it in a really seamless integration way. We keep all, we've got all these workflow integrations, but it's still the way our architecture is built, it's still compartmentalized for security, right? So nothing is connected. It's just, so it's really slick, really, really actually pretty cool. And again, I'm not a tech person, so if I'm impressed, it's pretty cool. So that's going to be kind of the focus for this year. And what we want to try and get across is that, when if we're at an event and MSPs see us and they see IT Complete, what's that? Well, it's still ID Agent, it's still Graphis, right? It's still Rocket Cyber. It's just now we want to because we have all these amazing tools that work together. Right. So we want to get that message out. So that's kind of going to be a big thing that we're going to be working on this year. ID Agent, we are always continuously working to innovate and improve the tool as it is, because we've got to stay current with the times, where there are the PII attribution will be pulled into the tool to identify PII and personally identifiable information, and Bullfish ID, right? So our security awareness training, the security awareness training and phishing simulation component of the ID Agent platform, we are going to be separating that out so that tool can stand on its own. So if you're an MSP and you want to purchase access to the Bullfish but not necessarily the dark web ID, you can do that when prior you couldn't.
Awesome. So it sounds like there's a lot of great things going on at Kaseya this year, and especially how ID Agent plugs into all of that. We're pretty much out of time. I thank you.
Oh, that was quick. Time flies when you're having fun.
I know, right? Thank you very much for sharing your story. Really appreciate it. This whole series and these interviews are just about letting people know who the people in the channel are. And if you are a vendor in the channel, or you are an MSP in the channel and you want to be interviewed, just reach out. Let me know. Amelia, thanks again for being here. Really do appreciate it. And thanks for, being kind about the little snafu last year.
Absolutely, not a problem. You can buy me a drink next time I see you at the next event.
Oh, I'm sure that there will be plenty of those coming up this year, and we'll see each other on the road quite a bit.
Fantastic, wonderful. Well, to everyone out there, Happy New Year. It was great to see you again, Eric. Thank you to you and your Facebook group members. I appreciate you all, and looking forward to having an amazing year.
Awesome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.